Whalawhalahi atu kua whanongonongo mai a koe ke he tau wala tala tutupu he leo taongo Niuean. Koe pungi ni nei ne whakahoko ai e whanoanga ke lata e moe tau lirifu he whano e ke pule. Wa hohoko atu ai ke lata e moe whakamolianga he whano e ke pule ke hong whamalima ki ha Niuean. Takalongi tau tangata ni kua hoko atu ai ki kisia koe whewhe e tau whipirianga he tau lirifu toko uafulu ni kua vili he tau tangata ki ai. Koe ia ni kua takitake e whanoanga ke kamatanga koe whakatonu whono tuai ko aho hiwa levi ko mai ke tau se e omonuanga he tau lilifu e ke pule taki toko taha. Ke tau omonua nei ko talhau wai tonga hua whakamori alo tolu ke tau ko tawhaanga ke he tolu e tau i mua. Mā tutaki atu he mga huia ke he whanoanga ke whiwhiria e ko tawhaanga ke lata moe whakatonu whono moe toko ua e hingoa ni kua tuku atu ai ke viri ai ko lawa ia ko marutalangi mo tongia walu pihingia. Kua mai ke he tahu kui ki viri mai toko hongfuma ua ni kua viri atu ai ke hingoa ha tongia walu pihingia kai toko walu mai hingoa ha marutalangi kai manea ni kua whakamori mai omonua ai tongia walu pihingia ke ai mo whakatunu whono he whono ke pule ha Niuean. Kua mai kei whoka ia ke takita ke whanuanga ke lata moi virianga ke he palemia kua whitani he loe tau hingoa toko ua whoki ko Stanley Kaloni mo toke tahalangi. Ne viri e tau lirifu mo toko walu ni kua viri ke hingoa ha Stanley Kaloni kai toko hongfumaua ha toke tahalangi. Kua kautu mo whakatumau ha toke tahalangi ke he tuanga koe palemia he kautu mo amamnaki to mai kei ke whiwhiri hana tau ikipole to hoku atu ke haupungipungi. Ke whakoisianga he tau wirianga ne tuku atu e ta manatu Puki he lirifu ko tongia sani holo ke whakatun whono ke fua ke taha mangaho ke whai manatu kuku ai e tau lirifu. Ne whakakese ta manatu whakaue ha Stanley Kaloni ke whalana kianga he tau tangata kua viri ke hana hingoa. Pia fua ki malutolu ni ko omoi hana hingoa mai ko toa whaange palimia. Pia sini kua nākai kautu pe hea ia to whakamalolo halutolu mtakau ke whakahaku e taunga hua he whakatu whono he aho. Whiwhiri ai he whono e ke pule ke nākai whakakese manatu whakalaulahi ke mangaho nei kai toka to hoku atu ke he whonoanga ka hau. Ne whakausia e whakaroanga mo e whakamunuinanga mo he Palestini he kaliseni we ko aipolia po male mo e mawhale ka matanga he whonoanga he tawe ke pule ke hongfumali maki. Koe tau whakaroanga mai tau puhala wakalele ke he motu wa mana ke kamata e wakalele ke uaki ke he mahina ha me whakatumma wanga ini wakalele e nisila ke hoku mai ke te waflaile he te whahita putakitaha koe wakalele ke uaki to hoku mai langataha to hoku mai ai ke he tau aho ua he te whahi tapu takitaha. Koe tau wa moale ni kua mahi ke whakatu whono ke whakatu tala mai moa e taha mawiheanga mai kau taha wakalele e nisila ke lata mai puhala o whanu te tangata mai whai mga hoi whoki he whakataitai ke kisia koe holo mitaki na kai moe iliu whakafou. Koe tau puhala wakalele whakatumau ni e tau whataranga ke tau talianga mai he kau taha wakalele mai whakatu whono Niuean. Koe wakalele ke uaki ka hawa he aho ua to ka mata mai he aho ua koe aho ua whamata he mahina me ke matutaki atu to whakosia ke aho ua whamaua iau ke topa. Kai ke kua liu whakatutale whakatu whono mai kau taha wakalele ka tūmitaki to liu ke onono ke whakafou whoki e mawehanga nei. Falaflahiatu, you're listening into Radio Sunshine's news bulletin for today. This morning marked the beginning of the 15th Niuean Legislative Assembly. The gallery was packed with families, friends and officials eagerly awaiting the opening and confirmation of some of the positions within the Niuean Legislative Assembly. The former Speaker of the Assembly, Auhiva Levy, conducted the first part of the program with the confirmation of the 20 members of the Assembly, each taking their oath to work to the best of their ability to represent their constituencies and the people of Niue. The first order of business was the election of the Speaker of the House with two names put forward, Marutalangi and Tongiavalu Pingia. This was put to the members of the Assembly to vote on, and there were 8 votes in favour of Marutalangi, whilst there were 12 for Tongiavalu Pingia, who humbly accepted the calling. Once he had sworn an oath to office, he took his seat to lead the remainder of the proceedings to elect the Premier. The Premier nominees were Stanley Kaloni and Toke Talangi. Premier nominee Stanley Kaloni humbly accepted defeat with 8 votes to his name and 12 to Toke Talangi. In making a brief statement, he thanked the people of Niue who entrusted their confidence in him by voting for him during the general elections, and also thanked the 8 strong members who supported his name for the Premier post. He stated that for the next 3 years, he would strive to keep the government of the day on a straight path as an opposition member. Following the statement, Member for Tuapa Fisapingia made a brief correction for the meeting to proceed according to the order paper and allow for comments to be made at a later date. The formal proceedings concluded with a short dedication service and blessing for the new Legislative Assembly by the President of the Ikaletia Niue, Reverend Aifulia Pomale. Premier Toke Talangi says he is humbled by the belief that has been bestowed on him to lead the country for the next 3 years in its efforts to build a prosperous Niue, where he hopes to announce his cabinet tomorrow morning, and it will be business as usual. Niue is gearing up for a busy tourist season with the expected second weekly flight to resume in May. Air New Zealand has exclusively served Niue with 1 flight a week, and last year a deal was struck between the government and the airline to trial a second service arriving on a fortnightly basis that proved popular for visitors. According to statistics from last year, there was a considerable increase in visitor numbers. However, there were constraints, and that was restricted by the number of accommodation available. The expectation is that numbers will continue to increase, and Niue's Chamber of Commerce is working with the private sector to ensure the island is prepared for the influx in tourist numbers. This year, we'll see an increase in flights with 2 flights each week. That should keep those in the tourism industry busy, and the second flight will arrive midweek starting on Tuesday, 21st of May, until the 22nd of October 2014. The future of the service is heavily dependent on those who use the service and negotiations between the government and airline. Looking at our news stories from the region, rising sea levels caused by global warming are unlikely to swamp the small atoll nations of South Pacific, a University of Auckland academic claims. Writing for the Australian science website Conservation, Professor Paul Kent said new evidence suggested that low-lying coral reef islands would be more resilient to sea level rise than thought. Sand and shingle islands lying 1 to 3 meters above the current sea level were considered among the most vulnerable places on Earth. Other case studies in the Great Barrier Reef and the Maldives also show that islands could form under a range of sea level conditions, including rising, falling, and stable. The Auckland study also looked at how islands physically changed over the past 60 to 100 years, including areas where the sea level has been rising at more than 2 millimeters per year for the past 5 decades. Fiji's cabinet has endorsed 17th of September when the country heads to the polls as a paid public holiday. Confirming the news to Fiji Live, Labour Minister Jone Usamate says the approval came through today. The government is expected to issue a statement to formally declare the 17th of September as a public holiday. In line with this, employers are required to give their workers time off should they do shift work to vote. When it comes to the protection of mangroves, Fiji is still way ahead of other Pacific countries, and with the need for greater awareness on the importance of mangroves, government has set up a committee that will ensure the protection and restoration of mangrove areas. Government is taking the lead in mangrove protection and restoration drive. The European Union announced that it will strengthen cooperation with Pacific Island countries in supporting renewable energy and fighting climate change in the area. According to an EU statement, the European Commissioner for Development, Andreas Piebalgs, will visit New Zealand from the 23rd to the 27th of April. His visit will focus above all on renewable energy and energy efficiency projects, several of them co-financed by New Zealand and the EU in Samoa, Tuvalu, Kiribati and the Cook Islands. 350.org Pacific, along with its local groups across the region, have taken a powerful stand against the largest coal mine currently in development in Australia. The Maules Creek Coal Project will see Whitehaven Coal, the mining company, destroy much of the Leard forest in order to dig up 13 million tons of coal per year over the next 30 years. The forest sits on land that has been home to the traditional people of Gomeroi country. Not only will they be destroying the natural habitat of hundreds of species of animals and plants, the Maules Creek Coal Project will see to it that Whitehaven coal destroys burial and other sacred sites of the Gomeroi people who call this land home. In a move of empathy, 350 Pacific has stated that it must and it will stand in solidarity with the Gomeroi people. As it stands, digging up and burning all the coal, oil and gas that the fossil fuel industry has planned will release 5 times more carbon dioxide than climate change scientists say is safe for our Pacific Islands and the world. To keep the Pacific Islands above water, coal needs to stay in the ground. 350 Pacific has started a petition that states that as Pacific Islanders, we stand in solidarity with the Gomeroi traditional owners in their fight against Whitehaven coal and the Maules Creek Coal Project. The Australian government has approved Fiji's request to export fresh gingers despite having its own ginger industry, says Pacific Horticultural and Agricultural Market Access Program National Market Access Coordinator Losalini Leweningila. During the ginger refresher training at the Southern Cross Hotel in Suva last week, Leweningila said Fiji was the first country that Australia had opened its doors to for the import of fresh ginger. She said the refresher training was aimed at ginger farmers, biosecurity officials and participants from different sectors and reminded them of their roles and responsibilities in sustaining the ginger industry. She said there were 2 kinds of ginger that the farmers harvested in the country, and this would be a good opportunity for ginger farmers to showcase their harvest to potential overseas buyers. Oil Search Chief Peter Botten has flagged substantial dividends in the opportunity to participate in up to 3 extra LNG trains in Papua New Guinea. Botten confirmed statements from PNG LNG operator ExxonMobil that the project would export PNG's first liquefied natural gas in the middle of the year, a few months earlier than scheduled. As a result, Oil Search said full-year production was now expected to be at the higher end of previously issued guidance of 13 to 16 million barrels of oil equivalent, which led to higher earning estimates from analysts. While the early LNG shipments will provide a short-term cash boost, the real prize for the company is the $1.5 billion a year in cash flow the project is expected to generate over the coming decades. Oil Search is expected to reveal a dividend policy for its step change in cash flows as at its interim results in August. And those are our news stories from the region as well as our local news bulletin here on Radio Sunshine for today.